And the captain is frothing. You're frothing, aren't you?
Yep.
He's frothing. So good to be back on the water. Every time. Every time. Welcome back everyone. Last week you joined us on a most unsavoury sail to Morocco. We headed inland for a change and explored the vibrant streets of Marrakech. So Mr. Jackson says, I could live in Morocco. I really see myself living in Morocco. I was trying to get to the bottom of the reason why. I mean, it's great, I could live in Morocco, but he couldn't come up with any other reason other than the food is fantastic. So,
what else do you need?
What else do you need? It's very easy to keep my captain happy. Yeah, the tagines here have been out of this world, and we've discovered a new thing that we can't believe has not caught on in Australia. For breakfast you get a pancake. Sorry. See, in England, pancakes are crepes, like those thick, stupid, those American pancakes. Sorry guys, that's a cake. Anyway, crepes. You get crepes with olive oil and honey,
and a spiced peanut butter.
And this thing called amlou, which is, we've tried to work out what it is, and essentially, I think it's just almond butter with dates and spices all crushed up inside, and then the coffee has spices in it as well. And now we have heard some swell has arrived, so we are heading down the coast to a place called Imsouane Bay. We're gonna miss out Essaouira just mainly because it is so popular, and we'd rather go somewhere a little bit more off the beaten track. And we're gonna see what the Moroccan surf towns are like. Apparently they're really cute. And the captain is frothing. You're frothing, aren't you?
Yep.
He's frothing, as you can tell. As we drove through the beautiful landscapes of Morocco, we saw what we thought was goats standing in trees. On closer inspection, we discovered that they really were goats standing in trees. The Moroccan countryside is absolutely peppered with argan trees. These trees make up the bulk of Morocco's agriculture industry, and they harvest argan oil. Goats are rather fond of the fruits that argan trees bear, which is why you'll generally see them chilling at the top of the tree. Big dog?
Well, like, I mean, I'm frothing on the atmosphere, but I don't think the swell's quite there yet. Well, there's swell, but unfortunately, I don't think we've quite got the tide just yet.
Alright.
So we might just have to go have some breakfast.
to Insulan Bay other than surfing and puppies, but I mean, what more could you want? We hung around until the tide was right to catch a few waves. There on the beach, so I'm gonna take that home with me and I'm gonna give it to Freya when she arrives next week.
From Banana Point.
About half an hour's drive inland from Xanthe Beach lies an oasis named Marrakech.
Myself in a forest with a child who likes to shriek, giving some white polish from the time I'm trying to keep. Oh, it's a boy, you can tell by the blood in his cheek, born for employ, live and die on the pleasure at sea. But oh my God, giving me a go. Float through the hush of the sea. All my life through a window, like the lovers on a hospital wing.
We've barely got home. I haven't even put my stuff away, and Jackson's already fixing the furler. We spoke to our friend Rach, and she had the solution. Oh, I just tripped over. She had the solution, and it doesn't seem too hairy of a thing to fix ourselves. So we shall be sailing to the Canaries. So backtracking to earlier in the week, we were trying to unveil the mystery of our broken furler. We had a little fiddle with it ourselves, but couldn't quite work out what was going on. We were rather cut about the situation, as it was our brand new rigging that broke on passage to Morocco, so we just put 2 halyards next to the forestay and ran away on our surf trip. We're very blessed to have a friend back in Australia called Rachel, who is a rigger herself, and after a few conversations with her, we managed to get to the bottom of the situation, and the future didn't look too bleak.
I looked at that. They don't go through the they don't go through that foil. In fact, they don't penetrate the metal. It like sort of just sits in there.
So Jackson, right now I've got a furler apart, and see these foil locating screws? So you're missing one. So they have a little nipple at the end of them here, and that goes into the foil. So because you're missing one, your foil has dropped down and is touching in here. So right now I'm having the same issue having this furler rotate. It gets halfway or 3/4 and it stops. But as soon as you lift this foil up, it will rotate. So your foil has dropped down and is touching in here. So that's where your issue's coming from. So you need to get some more of these fasteners in here. So this is your tack delay. So as you furl, you want to hold the shackle, and the foil wants a full 360 rotation before it engages this shackle. See there, it clicks. Now the whole thing wants to rotate.
Hello. Something different about you today. Have you cut your hair or shaved? I can't quite put my finger on it.
Just got the furler working.
Oh, that's right. You've got a fixed boat. That's what's different about you. That's bloomin' amazing.
We could have hung around in Morocco forever, to be quite honest, but deadlines in the form of crossing the Atlantic Ocean meant that we had to leave quite soon after fixing the furler. We were fully expecting not to be able to sail to the Canary Islands due to our unresolved furler issue, so it was a real treat to be able to set sails.
Is it good to have a furler again?
Yeah. That was a pretty easy set, wasn't it?
And that's what it's all about. So good to be back on the water, every time, every time. How fast are we going, Captain?
5.5.
5.5 knots. We'll take that. So we got 200 nautical miles ahead of us, which should take around about 40 hours. And the conditions seem to be good, so we're very much looking forward to this, and we're even more looking forward to being in the Canary Islands.
So we've got 240 miles on the dot, and this is putting us in there at around 3 o'clock in the arvo on the 5th. I don't know what date it is right now.
We never know what date or day of the week it is, but all we know is that we're going to arrive at 3 o'clock someday, and my Uncle Chris is going to be waiting for us with a lovely cold frosty local beer.
Is he?
Yeah.
You need to get your fix after not being able to drink in Morocco.
Oh
It's been really tough for you.
Oh, shut up. It hasn't. It's
It
been
has.
lovely.
You've really struggled.
No, I haven't. I had a homemade gin and tonic yesterday, and we've been fine.
But I can't wait for a beer.
They had these little tortoises for sale, and I really wanted to save them, and I thought they'd actually be perfect boat pets, and Captain said no.
Well, no. Captain didn't say no. Captain said first mate is a 31-year-old woman who can make her own choices. And Captain does not need to make those choices.
So we can get one.
I told you that.
We're getting a tortoise, everyone.
The thing is, I already have one tortoise on the boat, and I don't know if I can really deal with a second one. Because the boat's already slow enough. I don't need Xanthe looking after a tortoise at the pace of a tortoise.
I think that might have been the left. No, this is a roundabout, isn't it? Sorry.
Can you just go back to the map?
I'll just go back to the maps. I just wanted to tell you though, so last night
Babe,
Jackson said,
honestly, come on.
I know which way it is. It's the fourth, it's left. It's the fourth exit on the roundabout. So it's not the hard left, not down there, it's the one kind of 11 o'clock. No, that's 12 o'clock.
11 o'clock is like through the front
10
door.
o'clock if you will.